Okay, we are ready to start with our next how-to session, and this time we have not just one, but two experts from Bayer here with us. Hi, Matt. Hi, Max.
Thank you, Nasti, for inviting us to this wonderful event. My name is Matthias Eisenack, and I'm here today with my colleague Max Kunzke.
Hello.
We learned already a lot from the previous speakers, and we are happy now to share our story as well. This story is on how we in corporate controlling made a leap in providing steering relevant insights to the board of management and to fellow analysts at Bayer. If we can do this, you can do this too.
I love that. Sounds very interesting. And we are all excited to hear your stories, so let's get started.
Great. So let me introduce Bayer first. Bayer is a life science company with 3 divisions: crop science, pharmaceuticals, and consumer health. We are contributing to finding solutions to some of the major challenges of our time. A growing and aging world population requires an adequate food supply and improved medical care. All this goes to make up our vision: health for all, hunger for none. Like most controllers, our ambition is to provide superior insights. When we started, we asked ourselves, how can we provide these insights better? How can we become simpler and faster? Here we identified 4 design principles that helped us shaping the Bayer Finance 360 app. First, we want to provide a complete overview on one single access point for all steering relevant information from the group perspective. Secondly, we want to gain better and new insights by connecting the data that was traditionally held separately. Thirdly, the nature of discussions are dynamic and explorative. Therefore, the report design has to be interactive. And in practice, this means when our CFO has discussions with board members, he doesn't bring paper, he shows the app. Therefore, our 4th design principle is that the insights must be available anywhere and anytime. All this makes our Bayer Finance 360 app a true one-stop shop for superior insights. Let's have a look at the journey and how our team felt during the creation of the Bayer Finance 360 app. Our team consists of 4 controllers. The initial plan was to build on top of our central data lake called Data One and establish our app based on a defined timeline and blueprints. We thought that this would be a home run. So reality was slightly different, and we saw latest after 4 weeks that our initial plan didn't work out. We underestimated the importance of prototypes to support our learning and to win stakeholders. Fortunately, there is a lot of help in the community. We attended the Dashboard in a Day seminar and received guidance from OH22 Consulting. We also found great resources to address ad hoc questions in the internet like GynaCube. Lastly, the Zebra BI webinars, charts, and templates inspired our report design. With that equipped, we created our first working prototype, which is the benchmarking reporting shortly afterwards, and were motivated to set course towards our initial ambition. Well, then COVID hit us. Everyone faced uncertainty in professional and in private life. During that time, there was also many fast-changing analytical requirements from our CFO. Thanks to the gained knowledge, it took only 2 weeks to create the new analysis to answer all the new burning questions in an app, which was called Corona Radar at that point in time. And starting that time, we had an established working meeting scheduled with our CFO, and in just 8 weeks, we brought all the remaining contents needed into the integrated Bayer Finance 360 app. And this was about half a year earlier than we initially planned. So afterwards, of course, we had to also learn how to operate our processes within Power BI. And then we could also set gears towards creating new insights and innovation. This we will see during Max's chapter in the next few minutes. We believe that our app is never complete. At the same time, we continue also to contribute to a rapidly growing community within Bayer. We share best practices, support each other in a public Teams channel. And here, just to give you a number, so the members doubled from 500 to 1,000 members within just 1 year. And I really have to tell you, I enjoy this energy level, and also there's a good and inspiring ideas in the community which is very helpful for us. The takeaway from the journey is that creating an app isn't only about technology. It's about working with a passionate team that engages with the community and stakeholders directly. This said, I'm curious to see the content now. Max, do you want to walk us through the evolution of the contents in the app?
Thank you, Matt. I'm also very happy to be here with you all, share our story, and welcome you to this BAYER Finance 360 app demonstration. I will be presenting to you how we digitized the provision of steering relevant information at BAYER. But before sharing the demo, I would like to show you a high-level view of the full content that is available in the app. Just a brief remark on the figures that you see on the screen. These are all artificial numbers for the purpose of this demo, and they do not provide directions on BAYER's performance. As you can see on the left side, there are several layers or chapters of information that are available in the BAYER Finance 360 app. This is a collection of various dashboards, reports from other groups, links to other tools or systems. In other words, a variety of sources that we have either put together ourselves or that other groups provide to us. For example, briefing packages show event-specific information, like quarterly business reviews, strategic planning, outlooks. We receive information from investor relations that we simply added to the app. Our benchmarking report that compares BAYER with peers and the market. Like you saw earlier in the presentation, we did not build the app in one day. It was a journey. But where did our journey start? We started with one goal in mind, knowing and understanding the content that we wanted to include in the app and making it happen. The original app included only the first two sections that you can see highlighted on the left side. Building the content was the first step, but improving the performance in both the back and front end and automating our processes as much as possible were always on our minds. But we did not stop after we reached our initial goal. And over the past 2 years, the app has continued to evolve. We continued to enhance the app with content, and it is important to bear in mind that more content is not always or necessarily good. It is more about the quality of the content than the quantity. We improved our reports with better visualizations using Zebra BI. And now our status quo is to look for additional and relevant information that we can add to the app, research for alternative or newer ways of reporting, and to continue to automate our processes wherever possible. And with this, we go now to the live dashboard. So again, these are all artificial numbers. The dashboard shown provides a holistic overview with the most important KPIs, from sales to P&L or income statement, to core earnings per share, cash flow, net debt, inventories, receivables, headcount, and so on. It brings all the relevant information into a single location and enables steering by showing drivers and dependencies in the business and between KPIs. And in addition, it is enriched with the content that I referred to in the previous slides. It is built based on KPI cards that lead to specific details once a topic is selected. When looking at the respective KPI card, you can already have an idea of certain trends and comparisons to other periods. With this dashboard, we can offer a rich one-stop shop that provides financial and non-financial data, the classical monthly sales report, which is enriched with daily sales. The P&L report is extended with deep cost and spend analysis, including vendors. Cash flow and working capital reports show latest available information like a daily liquidity analysis. Efficiency programs tracking includes the related costs into various organizational categories. FTE is enriched with demographics. To achieve this, our dashboard is built on top of Bayer's central data lake called Data One, as Matthias already explained, and it is supplemented with information like benchmarks or external analyst data. The users are our CFO, senior decision makers, and fellow financial analysts. They use it for overseeing the business, for steering, and for presenting to the board or other stakeholders. Let us open the sales report. You can see that we have different visuals based on what we believe to be the most relevant information to show. Similarly, you all have tailored your reports or dashboards to show the information that you need to see to best steer your business or provide important insights. These visuals may be familiar to you. They are all Zebra BI visuals, but we also have other types of visuals depending on the content that we want to show. Here you can see the typical lollipop analysis. A great feature is the use of comments that can be read by hovering over the respective comment. And you can notice many known variances in absolute, percent, currency, and portfolio adjusted, and so on. We also show the progress of the respective KPI, for example, in year to date, to go, and full year. Clearly, the many features that Power BI offers, like the interactive use or selection between visuals, is a great way to show reports in a condensed way, meaning that we do not need to recreate visuals or reports for an example, our divisions. One report can be used for all. But also a great feature is that, like you can see on top, we added additional information such as the plan, the forecast, and the latest estimate, which are all available by a simple click of a button. The same applies to information that we display for daily, monthly, quarterly, or year-to-date information. Let us dive into this report. When looking at the variance versus prior year, in this example, the pharmaceuticals division is underperforming by 4.3%. The comment informs us that there are some issues in the region Asia Pacific. Let's select or filter on the division pharmaceuticals. You can see that once the region is expanded into countries, Japan shows a 7.8% decline compared to prior year. So we will add a filter now for Japan. Looking at this by brand, we can see that ILEA has a 10.5% decline. And if we hover over the brand, we can get an enhanced deviation analysis that shows us the effects on price, volume, and currency. And we can see that the decline is driven by price reductions, despite having sold more volume and having a positive effect from currencies. This is the beauty of the interactive reports, which allow us to go quickly into details and gain a better understanding of what is happening. To wrap this up, this is one very big stepping stone to innovate decision support at Bayer. But like I often say, the content that we provide is not only about having information that enables us to make decisions, but it is also about making certain patterns or variances visible, which can help us gain a better understanding of our business. There are various benefits of having the app. It is a one-stop shop or self-service for our group CFO. We have gained a lot of efficiencies. All financial and some non-financial information are always shown in the app with the most up-to-date information, like, for example, the daily sales or accounts receivable. And we no longer spend time working on PowerPoint slides that include this information. By the way, this does not mean that PowerPoint is no longer used. There are, of course, several instances where PowerPoint is still a great tool to use. And for those of you that still need to show Power BI reports in PowerPoint or copy them, I am sure that you have already noticed the new feature in Power BI called storytelling that allows you to have interactive reports within PowerPoint. Check it out. Speed to insights. We have more time that can now be spent in having discussions and recommendations. Flexibility. We have the ability to quickly respond to changes in information that is needed and prepare new content. Finance everywhere. You can see the data anywhere and anytime in your desktop, on or your mobile devices. And last but certainly not least, scaling and empowerment. We more and more often learn from new success stories at BAYER related to the implementation of dashboards. We would like to share an excerpt from the Wallstreet Journal and a question that was asked to our group CFO, Wolfgang Nickel, regarding main changes in the finance function. Mr. Nickel is referring to the app and the many things that he can see, plus the fact that he now only presents to the board members via the live app. During this presentation, we have spoken about our past, our present experiences, how we used to do certain things, and what we do now. But what about the future? How are things going to be like in just a few years? What will controlling look like? Based on our experience, we can only close this presentation with one bold remark. Get on board or stay behind. And I know that it is easier said than done, but this is our story. And we are glad that we did get on board and therefore have the opportunity today to share this with you all. And with this, we have come to the end of our presentation and would be very happy if we can stay in contact with you and share new experiences. Thank you for your attention.